Sup, y'all? Welcome back to Saved by the Code, where I talk about all things cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. And man, oh man, it's another crazy day in the world of crypto. Bitcoin sitting at $91,422, Ethereum 32.94, Tether is at 99.8 cents. Imagine that. A stable coin is almost at $1, hovering around $1. Solana's sitting at 224. And yeah, we're seeing a bit of a dip here. And I'm sure some people are freaking, what's going on? What? How are we not at $340 billion Bitcoin? Why isn't it going straight up? What's going on? How does this happen? Just chill. Just chill. Everything's just fine. And it's so funny because now when we drop all the way to $91,000 for one Bitcoin, pandemonium ensues. Do you just, just like say that to yourself? Bitcoin has dropped to $91,000. 5 days ago, that was an all-time high, or whatever, a week ago. That was mind-blowing. Now it's just, oh gosh, 91,000, what are we gonna do? It's over, sell everything, no! Don't worry, be happy, everything's fine. Bitcoin will cross the $100,000 mark. There are massive sell orders in at $100,000. We got so ridiculously close. I think it was like 99,000, like $600 or something. And yeah, there are a lot of people with big sell orders at $100,000. There are certain factors at play here that cause these, things to happen, including positions, margin positions, where people take leveraged positions, meaning that they can multiply their gains or multiply their losses. But people can short or long the market, and they take out these huge positions. And a short means that you're betting on the price to go down, so you make money if the price goes down. And with any market, manipulation is possible, and Bitcoin is not immune to that whatsoever. And so these big dogs put in huge short positions, and they can take out leverage, so they can literally do like a 3x leveraged position. So let's say you put in $1 billion up. You have to put some money up, but you don't have to put all of it. So let's say you're a big dog, you put in $1 billion, and you want to short Bitcoin, and you're saying at $100,000, that's your position. So if it goes anywhere below 100,000, you make money. And if you do the 3x leverage, you get to, for your $1 billion, it's as if you're trading with 3 billion. So you multiply your profits by 3x. And so you can put in, and so you can get your buddies or whatever to sell a bunch at 100,000 and push the price down, and you make a ton of money. It's just how the world works. So that's going on for sure. And so I bet a lot of people made a ton of money from this drop from 100,000 to 91,000. Those of us just holding Bitcoin, but whatever. This is Bitcoin. This is how it goes. You have to be able to stomach these nauseating roller coaster rides. And this is not even that bad. My gosh, we're at $91,000. Chill. Oh man, good times ahead. Lots of great stuff to go through today. Our boy Donnie T, always up to some good stuff. He is on our side. It's just nuts that he's all for crypto now. Huge stuff going on. We got Rumble, the alternative YouTube, the better YouTube, that's not going to censor your butt for saying like nothing. And now they're buying Bitcoin to put into their treasury. $20 million they're allocating. They announced this yesterday. It says here, Rumble, the video sharing platform and cloud services provider, announced today that its board of directors has approved a corporate treasury diversification strategy of allocating a portion of the company's excess cash reserves to Bitcoin. This move emphasizes Rumble's belief in Bitcoin as a valuable tool for strategic planning and is designed to accelerate the company's expansion into cryptocurrency. Rumble's Bitcoin allocation strategy will include purchases at the discretion of the company of up to $20 million. Woo! Let's go. That's incredible. I mean, this is going to continue to happen. A little late to the party, bro, but they're not. They really aren't. It's still, believe it or not, early for Bitcoin. It's not as early as it used to be, obviously. But these things are just going to continue to happen. And a lot of these companies won't buy Bitcoin until it's, much more established, much more secure. They're not going to buy Bitcoin at a $500 billion market cap, even a $1 trillion market cap. We are very close to $2 trillion market cap. That's a pretty well established asset, $2 trillion. And that might seem like a ton of money, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really not. I believe gold's market cap is, it's around 12, 13 trillion. Just to put things in perspective, Apple is it like 3 trillion, 2 or 3 trillion, whatever. But these big dogs and $20 million, that's a nice sum of money. But they're not going to be putting money in to something like Bitcoin until it's more established, which is great. It enables people like myself and others that may be watching the show that we're able to get in a lot earlier, and they're going to pump our bags. So go Rumble! Love ya! Here's a quote from the CEO, Chris Pavlovsky. We believe that the world is still in the early stages of adoption of Bitcoin, which has recently accelerated with the election of a crypto-friendly U.S. presidential administration and increased institutional adoption. Unlike any government-issued currency, Bitcoin is not subject to dilution through endless money printing. That it is not. You go, Chris. Enabling it to be a valuable inflation hedge and an excellent addition to our treasury, said the CEO. We are excited to strengthen our ties with crypto and to bolster our efforts to become the leading video and cloud services platform for the crypto community. Yeah! All right, I like this guy. I mean, Rumble's always been, it's good. It's just, the audience isn't as big as YouTube, but nonetheless, they're not just banning people left and right. Oh no, what if I get banned for saying that? Yeah, so this is just happening all over the world. And you may be wondering, why isn't the price higher, this and that? These things take time. I know it feels like it should be a lot higher, but there are selling pressures out there. Like I just said, that's just one of them at the beginning of this video with the people that do the shorts and the longs and play that whole game with leverage positions. There's real stuff, like real incentive to sell Bitcoin there to make a ton of money on a short. And then you can buy it back up when the price is lower and then long it, like, yeah, super wild. I mean, here's another MicroStrategy is just going crazy with the Bitcoin buys. Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy makes mammoth Bitcoin purchase, adding 55,500 tokens for $5.4 billion. $5.4 billion, no big deal. Over the past week, they just bought 55,000 Bitcoin, bringing its total holdings to 386,700 Bitcoin. And the stock of MicroStrategy has been pumping like crazy. Missed that one. I kick myself for not... Oh, man. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyways. And their strategy, what MicroStrategy's strategy is that they create debt. They sell debt. And by selling this debt... So it says here, the purchase comes after MicroStrategy last week completed its latest sale of convertible debt, raising $3 billion on the note due 2029 with a 0% interest rate. Oh. So yeah, they're just literally taking out debt and buying Bitcoin with it, just trolling the system. Like, it's Genius move. And more companies are starting to do this, actually. Because it's like, why not? Why not? The fiat money system is trash. So let's take that trash and put it into Bitcoin. I'm going to say pure gold, but Bitcoin's better than pure gold. So MicroStrategy they've just been doing this for the past 4 years. They started I remember, I think it was August of 2020. That was like the biggest news ever. It was like, oh my gosh, a publicly listed company bought Bitcoin. Now this stuff is just commonplace and it's like no big deal. Whatever. Another company bought 20 million in Bitcoin. What's the big deal? Who cares? Trump's gonna make a Bitcoin reserve. Big deal. Who cares? It's just like, what? It is huge news, and it takes time for this stuff to actually disseminate and take effect. But I mean, the price just went from 70 to 100 grand. Chill. It's all right. And the limited supply of Bitcoin is a very real thing, and it is kicking into overdrive. There is not many coins out there. 14, 15 million coins, because 5 or 6 million have been lost forever. It's supposed to be 21 million, but there's, in reality, 5 or 6 million coins that are gone forever. I mean, there are people out there that have like $500 million in Bitcoin that they can't get to because they threw out their hard drive. Or there's some guy that's been like trying to search this landfill for like the past 10 years for this hard drive that he swears in there. For some reason thinks it's still gonna like be working. And he can't find it. Oh, that would be just imagine you having like $300 million that you can't touch. I would cry myself to sleep every night. Just crying. Just boxes of tissues everywhere. Just, no. That would be horrible. I mean, I guess in the early days of Bitcoin, I mean, still though, like I've never like thrown a hard drive out. Like, I mean, maybe I have, but like, just keep it. Even if it had like, $100 worth of Bitcoin on it, like, what are you throwing it out for? What are you doing? Whatever, I don't know. But best of luck to him. I hope he finds his hard drive in the landfill. And if he hears this video, I hope he gives me a couple Bitcoin. Because I'm rooting for you, bud. Alright. That's no big deal. Multiple publicly listed companies buying tons of Bitcoin. No big deal. Nothing to see here. Let's move on. Alright. Cardano whales are buying a bunch of Bitcoin. As some of you may know, I'm a big old Cardano fan. Oops. And the whales are accumulating. And supposedly that is what has fueled its recent rally. It went up 216% over the past month. And apparently a bunch of whales are buying a lot of Cardano. A whale being defined as someone who holds more than 1%. At least 1% of the tokens. And there's just been a surge of transaction volume on Cardano. $22 billion per day. So yeah, whales are gobbling up all the Cardano. Specifically, wallets holding between $1 million and $10 million worth of Cardano have increased their balances by 82%, 83%, 82.97%. While those holding over 10 million have seen a 145% rise in the last 30 days. Whew. Wow. That's a significant increase. So the whales want all the Cardano. This is good. This is good for a price. You go, Cardano, and whales keep on buying and pumping my bags. Let's go, baby. I foresee Cardano blasting past its previous all-time high. A lot of the fundamentals, well, not all the fundamentals are still there. It's just, like I've mentioned, a slower moving blockchain. Not with regards to the transaction speed itself, but the speed at which the updates and improvements are implemented. It's not like Ethereum or Solana where it's just like, blah, put it all out there and hopefully it works, you know? It's highly tested and peer reviewed. That's their whole thing, is like a peer reviewed blockchain. So the upgrades and the improvements are heavily scrutinized before they're implemented. And so it just has been a slower rollout. But things are still happening on Cardano. I'm a big believer, and it's good to see the price increase. It's refreshing. It's refreshing. And like I said, I think it'll blast past the all-time high. Hopefully we'll see a double-digit Cardano during this bull run. Okie dokie. Mr. Smokey. Don't know why I just said that. On the topic of Ethereum. Ethereum, what are you doing, bud? It has just been a sluggish performer. Let's see here. I mean, just this year, it's only gone up 60%. And that might sound like a lot to some people, but in crypto terms, that is nothing. 60%. It's struggling. I think a lot of the limelight is being stolen from it by other blockchains, such as Solana, which pretty much has stolen the show from Ethereum. You know, NFTs aren't really a thing right now. And Solana stole the spotlight because it's high throughput, even though it's much more centralized than Ethereum, and it goes down. It's not a real blockchain, but nonetheless, a lot of people trade on it and use it, and I don't understand why. I thought the thing was going to be dead in 2021 when it first went down. Like, the blockchain, you can't push transactions through. And I was like, this thing's done. Solana's done. Get out of it. And the price went up. It's just so, sometimes it just doesn't make any sense. And it went down like 10 times that year. Still goes down. Whatever, I don't know. Tons of people use it. There's tons of volume. People like trading meme coins on it. That's pretty much all that happens on it, is meme coin trading. But what? It's fine. I'm not hating on it. I'm not bashing it. I'm not bashing meme coin trading. I am bashing Solana for going down so much. But the price doesn't go down, that's for sure. So what are you going to do? That's what you got to do in crypto, is follow the money. Wow, so insightful. Follow the narrative, really. And narratives change. Right now, it's the meme coins and Solana. And Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin is just on a tear. So, but yeah, I mean, ETH has just been struggling. You look at the chart, if you're not looking at the screen, it's just sluggish relative to other coins. I mean, it hasn't even... It's still like 30% away from its all-time high. What? Yeah, 31% from every. But meanwhile, everything else is like breaking all-time highs, and it's there's nothing wrong with Ethereum. I mean, I guess it's just old news. You know, the NFT thing was crazy. I just remember 2021, ETH was all the rage, and I still have respect for Ethereum. I still like it. It's just, I think, not the fastest horse in the race at the moment. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean it can't. I think it'll just explode out of nowhere. I think we can see a $15,000 Ethereum this bull run, maybe even higher. Totally see that. But we'll see. Let's hope it can. I think NFTs will randomly bounce back too, like out of nowhere. You know, those things they're fun, they're cool. I worked for a crypto startup a couple years ago. They're called Bright Moments, and it was an NFT gallery, like a physical one, and it was really cool. It was like a really awesome idea, and Man, that was a fun time in my life. We would host events for NFT artists as well as mint our own collection. So the whole thing was that we were minting 1,000 of our own NFTs in 10 different cities around the world. And each of those cities, we would host events, and people would buy tickets to those events. And that was kind of the revenue model, or a ticket to mint one of our NFTs. It was a wild ride for a little bit. I worked there for it was like a year and a half or something, but it was a lot of fun. But yeah. So yeah, I think NFTs will bounce back. There was so much interest. I mean, sure, the prices people were buying some of these for were absolutely ridiculous, but it's no different than someone buying some ridiculously stupid piece of art that like looks so. It's like a line, like looks like a toddler literally just drew a line on a piece of paper. $4 million. Like same exact thing happens in the real art world. People like to pay a lot of money for collectible things that are unique. That's the thing about NFTs, that they're one of a kind, verifiable by the blockchain. And I think there's different use cases for NFTs other than just art. Kind of like maybe notary type service, like things that are unique. The VIN to a car, medical records, just various things that I think NFTs could make more efficient, if you will. Maybe even IDs, digital IDs. Just some things I think a unique asset on a blockchain could have some use cases for. It could make things more efficient instead of going, gotta go to the notary and get my whatever updated. Like transferring the title to a car is such an antiquated process. Gotta go to the notary and get your little stamp. Whatever they do there, I don't even know. Instead, can I just transfer you the NFT? Boom, done, finished. Okay, well, why are we going to notaries still? I don't even know if that's a thing, really, but I think it is. It's like the title to a car is like still like, papers and stamps and stuff. Anyways, ETH, I hope you bounce back. The fundamentals are still there, but the price is not performing accordingly. So let's see what will happen, what the future holds. All right, next story here. Gary Gensler's departure is no triumph for Bitcoin. That is a total lie. I don't know who writes these articles. I know what they mean by this because the SEC was not... It declared that Bitcoin was a commodity or whatever they defined it as. They think they can just like come out here and define... We define what Bitcoin is because we're the SEC. Like, go home, Gary. No one likes you. But they were much more hard on other cryptocurrencies, calling them securities and this and that. And, there were CEOs behind pretty much every other crypto. Ethereum's got Vitalik, Cardano's got Charles Hoskinson, Solana's got this or that. So there's like offices that they can like go to and like actually take legal action against. This is the beauty of Bitcoin, is that there is no office. There is no one you can like target and go after, because there is no creator. That's the beauty of Bitcoin. And so they're like, this guy's saying that it doesn't matter. But it does, because in people's heads, the SEC was going after all of crypto. And now that, Gary Gensler's gone, you're fired, Gary, you're fired. It's, no limits. And that goes for, even if they weren't going after Bitcoin as much as other ones, in people's heads, they were. And so that'll affect the price and make people a little scared to maybe invest because of SEC, this and that, and even start a Bitcoin-based business in the United States. So it's amazing. It is a massive triumph for Bitcoin, and I vehemently disagree with this person who wrote this article. What are you doing, bub? As the we could well see the most atrocious scam coins proliferate and soar. Who, like, okay, so it says, as the upcoming Trump administration is gearing up to establish a regulatory landscape facilitating full-on anything-goes multi-coinery, and with Gary Gensler gone, we could well see the most atrocious scam coins proliferate and soar before they inevitably implode. And as people over the next 4 years get rug pulled, dumped on, and otherwise defrauded, I could also easily imagine a political response from the other side of the aisle that fails to recognize the distinction between Bitcoin and the world will be financials of the world altogether. They could turn against all of crypto, even more than they already have. Bitcoin not excluded. This stuff's already happening. I really don't understand what this guy means. It's, people get rug pulled, dumped on, scammed, and screwed every single day, all throughout crypto, all throughout every industry, and the SEC is doing absolutely nothing to hinder that. Nothing. I don't know why this guy all of a sudden thinks because Gary Gensler is gone, Trump is pro-crypto, that all the scams are going to happen when they're already happening. Scammers don't care about the laws. So, I just, I don't really... He says here, as I've explained previously, I don't think Donald Trump actually gives a damn about Bitcoin. At best, he's a shitcoiner who wants in on the scam. Alright, dude, sure. Even if he is, who cares? It's gonna pump our bags. Who cares? If he wants to make some money in crypto, let him. Wants in on the scam. And I think by this, it seems like he's calling Bitcoin a scam. Whatever, dude. Whatever. It's articles like this, it just like doesn't, it's like 3 paragraphs long, and it's just like no good points are made. So, alright, buddy. You go. Okay, here, next story. Tether mints an additional $3 billion in USDT stablecoins. Tether is the biggest stablecoin. A stablecoin is just a cryptocurrency that is pegged to $1 at all times. And it's, they're great. They really are, because it allows you to move between cryptos seamlessly, and it will just stay stable at $1. And you can stay within crypto as opposed to selling like Bitcoin for actual US dollars. You can just stay within crypto and you can move it around really easily. People use Tether and other stable coins even to send money to people in other countries, because they're borderless and they are somewhat censorship resistant. There are companies behind these stable coins, so technically they could you shut your account down. And I'm sure it happens, but nonetheless, it is significantly still better than any bank out there. So people use stablecoins a lot to transfer value to other countries without questions being asked. And they whenever they create coins, it's a sign. It's a very bullish sign. So a lot of Tether has been being created over the past even just couple weeks. They minted, like I said, this article, 3 billion tokens on November 23rd on Ethereum and Tron. That's another blockchain. And there's been a lot of stablecoin volume, which is highly indicative of bullishness, people buying crypto with the stablecoins that are minted. And it says here that Tether has minted about 13 billion Tether since November 8th. So a lot of stablecoins being minted. And really great to see. According to Bitcoin developer Adam Back, the price of Bitcoin could go as high as $1 million if a strategic reserve is established under the Trump administration. I'm of the belief of that as well. I really don't think people are bullish enough. That is as big as it gets. When the United States has a Bitcoin reserve, other countries will follow suit. And it's just, there's not that much Bitcoin out there. Do the math. Like, it seems like impossible, but it's not. Another massively bullish thing here on the topic of Tether is this guy Cantor Fitzgerald is Trump's Commerce Secretary nominee. So he is picking very pro-crypto people to be in his administration. And this Cantor Fitzgerald guy currently serves as Tether's custody provider for billions in U.S. Treasuries backing the USD stablecoin, USDT. So the stablecoins are backed by 1-to-1, supposedly, and they get audited often, but who knows. But each coin is backed by $1. And so this Cantor Fitzgerald guy serves as Tether's custody provider. The report also indicates that Cantor has acquired approximately 5% ownership of Tether, valued at $600 million. This is crazy. And Trump picked him to be, what is it? Commerce Secretary? Whatever that is. And this guy is literally in crypto. This administration is so pro-crypto. It's just incredible that this is where we are. And the bullish, people aren't bullish enough. I really don't think, I think we're going to get close to 1 million. It's only a 10x away. Like, that's not, you may think it is, but I mean, the amount of money that is just sloshing around out there waiting to go into Bitcoin, and we've been saying it for so long, wall of money is coming to Bitcoin, this and that, and where the hell is the wall? Well, here it is, folks. This is the wall. And it's a coming. I mean, seriously, like when countries around the world are rushing to buy Bitcoin for their reserves, it's huge. That's insane. That's trillions upon trillions of dollars. And that's where we get a $20 trillion market cap Bitcoin, which would be the $1 million mark. So, not that crazy, if you ask me. All right. So, yeah, Trump is picking all sorts of pro-crypto people to be in his administration. And Tether is a minting away, which is a very bullish sign. Happens every bull market where a bunch of stablecoin is minted, price follows accordingly. All right, we got our boy Peter Schiff here. Oh, Pete. He is the ultimate Bitcoin bear. The ultimate Bitcoin bear. He loves gold and just thinks it's the most amazing thing in the entire world. And gold is great. I'm not here bashing gold. But this guy he literally always says, Bitcoin's going to zero, it's worthless, who would ever buys, it's a Ponzi, this and that, and no, it's a scam, and watch him be right in the end. But I just have a very difficult time. I mean, how do you not see value in a decentralized, censorship-resistant ledger? How? I just don't understand how. Because we don't have one that exists. There is nothing even close to Bitcoin. All we have are centralized trash ledgers. Like, they can be manipulated and changed. It's massively valuable. Just saying a decentralized ledger, that is huge. He says here, Peter Schiff ignites outrage by claiming that the U.S. becoming a Bitcoin superpower would weaken the nation, clashing the crypto advocates championing it. And yeah, I don't really know. Posting on social media platform X, Schiff stated, when government picks winners and losers, it usually picks losers. Thanks to the Trump administration picking Bitcoin, Wall Street is winning bigly, misallocating capital to Bitcoin and related value-destroying businesses. Becoming the Bitcoin superpower makes America weaker. No idea where, let's see what else he said here. If the U.S. makes the huge mistake of selling its gold to buy Bitcoin, you want to buy gold, and if you have any Bitcoin, sell it to the U.S. government. He recently called the strategy a Ponzi scheme, asserting that MicroStrategy could collapse if forced to sell its Bitcoin holdings. He provides no. He never provides any actual rational reason as to why Bitcoin has no value, other than him just loving gold so much that he can't be intellectually honest. I mean, his whole life and success does revolve around gold. He owns he has a business that sells gold. So, I mean, he has a very vested interest in talking trash about Bitcoin because it's so much better than gold. He's just an old angry man. Old man yells at Bitcoin. Just vehemently disagree with him on all fronts. By the way, we're on the same team here. You know, a lot of gold people buy gold for the same or similar reason as why people buy Bitcoin. They're trying to protect their wealth against uncertainty and kind of outside of the system somewhat. So, Peter, go home, buddy. I'm sorry, but you just need to come around and just like be honest with us here. Ponzi, scam, going to zero. He's been saying this for like ever, and the price of Bitcoin just goes straight up. And he's probably advised people, don't buy it at like $1,000. Don't buy Bitcoin, 2,000. Don't buy Bit 10,000, 40,000, 90. Like, how long are you gonna say not to buy it for, bud? Your advice isn't very good. Meanwhile, gold has gone up, what, 20%? 20% or so? Let's see here. Gold price. All right. The surge of gold. All right, let's see what we got here. Over the past year to date, 27%. Whoa. Man, oh man. We're rich. We're rich, guys. We are up 27%. Man. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's up 200% since the beginning of the year. And it's going to continue going up way more. And I mean, I won't even bring up the chart of the past 5 years. I don't want to make them look that bad, but yeah, but I just, when are you going to come around? I don't think he ever will, no matter what, but that's on him. All right, folks, that pretty much brings us to the end of this episode. I hope y'all enjoyed. Actually, something I want to start doing is having a little educational portion. Just a little, yeah, opportunity to learn something. And I don't know if I should do it at the beginning or the end of the episodes, but it's too late now, so I'm going to do it at the end. And I touched on this a little bit in my last episode. The difficulty of mining in Bitcoin mining. So it's how difficult it is on average to mine a block in Bitcoin and add it to the blockchain. And a higher difficulty is indicative that more miners are competing to mine Bitcoin. So the more miners that are in the network, basically all miners are doing are guessing numbers. Just think of it like that. These computers are just guessing tons of numbers per second. And so if there's more miners guessing more numbers per second, it needs to, the algorithm needs to make it more difficult to mine that block, because you need the target is an average of a block is added to the blockchain every 10 minutes. So this average is computed every 2 weeks or so. So there's every 2016 blocks is the difficulty adjustment, and this is roughly 2 weeks. And on average, it should be around 10 minutes. It should be 10 minutes. So if the block time over the course of that 2 weeks is like, say, 7 or 6 minutes, the difficulty needs to be increased because it's too easy to mine a block. And so a difficulty adjustment occurs, and what they basically have to do is guess a random number. That's all they're doing. And so this random number, you just add a digit to it, and it becomes exponentially harder to guess that number. And so the difficulty is at an all-time high, like so many metrics in Bitcoin right now, which is indicative of a very healthy, competitive mining environment, which is what you want, because this is also correlates with how secure the network is. Higher difficulty, higher hash rate, which is the amount of computing power in Bitcoin is the hash rate. Maybe I'll talk about that next time. But this difficulty, it's just that. It's just how hard is it for my computer to guess that random number. And the more numbers that you can guess per second, the greater chance you have of guessing that number. So the more computers you have, the more miners you have, the greater chance you have of guessing that number and mining the block and getting the block reward, which right now is 3.125 Bitcoin, roughly around $300,000. It's a pretty nice payday, I'd say. Just to run some computers. It's not that easy, not just that easy, but yeah, so we're about halfway. So yeah, it's 2016. Every 2016 blocks should be an average 10 minutes. Right now, the average block time is 9.55 minutes, which is pretty much right where you want to be. And the next difficulty adjustment will be Monday, December 2nd. And this happens, like I said, every 2 weeks. It's a really fascinating aspect of Bitcoin. And it's really amazing to see how well the system is working. And yeah, so that's just a little bit on difficulty. If you want to look into it a little more, I will provide a link in the description. It's just this chart, kind of explains it a little bit, and it's just really interesting to look into. And there's just so many little random things that a lot of people don't know about in Bitcoin, like this, like the difficulty adjustment and what it is and why it is a thing. And it's to account for miners entering and exiting the network, which is constantly happening every single day. You know, there are miners entering and exiting, turning their machines on and off for various different reasons, who knows. And this can cause blocks to be mined slower if more competition is there, or faster. Like I said, you want that target of 10 minutes for every block. So yeah, that is a crash course in Bitcoin mining difficulty, Bitcoin difficulty. Like I said, I don't know if I should do this at the beginning of episodes, at the end. I kind of feel like I should just do it at the end, because I'm sure people just want to hear the news, and then we get a little sprinkle of education on top at the end. So, all right, folks, that does it for today. Sitting at 92,200. We're fine. Everything's fine. Everything is just fine and dandy in Bitcoin. The mining network is healthier than ever. Difficulty's high. We got a pro crypto administration. The future is looking good for Bitcoin. All right. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, till next time, I bid you farewell on your cryptocurrency journey.